Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Super Mario Sunshine, the post-video game shit on our way to getting all 100 coin shine sprites and 240 blue coins. So spoiler warning, we're not getting all the blue coins by the end of this because the last remaining 10, I believe, are in Corona Mountain, the final area of the game. And I'm going to get those alive with Elliot and Matt during the finale of this playthrough, which we'll record when all of these videos are said and done. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you coming back to listen to me answer your questions. We're just going, now we're heading to Ricco Harbor. I'm getting all the levels done in order because, you know, it's the way God intended. Ricco Harbor, as far as blue coins go, it's the first level to do that stupid thing where you can only get a select number of blue coins in certain episodes. In this game's case, you have to like use the first episode to get these blue coins. I think they're only here in this episode, and then you have to go to like the blooper surfing episode to get the ones you can only find during blooper surfing, and then the rest can be found in episode 8, Yoshi's Fruit Adventure. You know, it's just, I don't know, I feel every blue coin should be available in every level. Don't lock them out to specific level designs because it's not fun. You know, if you're gonna make them a scavenger hunt, don't make them like a scavenger hunt beyond episodes. Just make them a scavenger hunt within the world itself. If that makes any sense. If I'm not making any sense, whatever. The 100 coin mission, I would say it's about as easy as Bianco Hills. Especially around the Great area, like on everything like the girders up top, they have a lot of coins. So you just scavenge around that area with the hover nozzle, you make your jumps here and there. It honestly shouldn't take you too long to get all the coins needed for the mission. You see, I gotta exit the area now and then go to a different episode so that I can get the blue coins in that area too. Episode 2, Bloopers Surf and Safari. You can only get these blue coins in this episode because they only load in this episode. So away! And as I'm riding the urine blooper, we got more questions here, so let me take another swig of my golden monkey. I feel like I'm recording a Stone Cold podcast. You ever guys ever listen to Stone Cold's podcast? He's such a fucking mouth breather. No, I love the guy, don't get me wrong, but it's like, gee, like this guy I think only knows how to breathe through his mouth. Like his nose no longer works. Ugh. I do this for you. Alright, so Hysteria is asking, hey Johnny, question for the Q&A series, eh? So it's for, do you have any interest in the Danganronpa series of video games, and can you rank the Pokemon gens from worst to best? The Danganronpa I've only heard of countless times, never played them in any capacity. I don't even know if I maybe seen them in action, maybe I have. You know, there's a lot of games that I've seen, but I never asked for the names, so if I were maybe to look at a trailer, I probably have seen it, but I've never played them. I've only been semi-curious, just from the name alone. I don't know what the fuck is a Danganronpa. I don't know. But, can I rank Pokemon gens from worst to best? Alright, well I can't include Generation 3 in that list because I still have yet to play Generation 3. And I don't count Fire Red and Leaf Green because those are remakes of Gen 1. But from worst to best, I would say Gen 4 is the worst. Because I thought Hoenn, not Hoenn, Sinnoh, I think it was the name of it. If I'm getting the names wrong, please understand. Generation 4's world I thought was so boring. And HM Fest. Like, there are so many fucking HMs in that world. And they were all mandatory for, well, I don't know if they're all mandatory, but like, come on, Defog. I have no interest in that one. So that was a struggle to travel through. And then the gameplay I thought was so bogged down just in terms of pacing. It was just a very slow system. I mean, it's not all bad. I did finish Diamond, and I did finish Platinum. I thought Platinum was better, but it was still hampered by a lot of Gen 4's engine problems. But we still also got Heart Gold and Soul Silver in that generation as well, and those are remakes of some of my favorite generations of all time. But if we continue the ranking here, let me see, from worst to best, we'll see Gen 4. Gen 6, X and Y. Kalos, I thought was pretty fucking dull too. But by that point, they were getting better with the whole H engine sort of thing, and it wasn't so bad. But it was like, oh, there's really nothing happening here. So what would I say next? Probably, let's say, only because I have not played it too much of it, but I would say Sun and Moon are next. I enjoyed Sun and Moon. I enjoyed Sun and Moon a lot more than X and Y. But I haven't played it since the release last year, and I just picked up Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but I have not played them yet. Looking to change that because we're getting ready to record Pokemon Sun and Moon for Brain Scratch, and gotta refresh the memory here. I mean, it's Pokemon. There's only so much you have to remember about this or that. So we'll see what happens there. I want to say after that is most likely Generation 1. Generation 1 because, you know, I'm a total nostalgia whore. And that's the first game I played. I have a lot of memories of Gen 1. And despite the absurd levels of jank, and those games are complete train wrecks in terms of programming, I still hold them near and dear to my heart. They're what got me into the series. But to say that they're better than this or that is just actually, you're fooling yourself. I would say the last two, yeah, I say it's a tie. It's really hard because I love Generation 2, but I also love Generation 5 Part 2. I guess like if I'm gonna break Generations up into two parts, then I would say after Generation 1 would be Generation 5 Part 1. Because I saw the glimmers of a fantastic Pokemon game, but I didn't like the way Black and White was set up. I thought it was too slow. But by Generation 5 Part 2, I thought they did everything right in terms of pacing, variety with Pokemon. The storyline I thought was pretty captivating. I thought, you know, Generation 5 Part 2 just did a lot for me. And Gen 2, likewise, was to me such a wonderfully paced, varied adventure that and the soundtrack, oh, it's so great. So I got a lot of memories with Gen 2. This is a pretty meaty question. I know it's like I spent a long time on this one, but you know, you gotta make like a totem pole off the top of your head. You know, you gotta really think about that sort of thing. But I'll elaborate later down the road because I am thinking about going back to Pokemon next year for the main channel with Generation 3 and 4, maybe 5. I don't know. I'll see how. I don't want to spend too long on it because I don't want another Kingdom Hearts. Fuck, that marathon drained me. But I hope that's a good enough answer for that one. So, Simia, let me see here. Namikubushi. So I might have mispronounced that. Sorry about that. Well, hold on. Let me take another sip of beer. Ugh. I'm still collecting these fucking things. If you can spend the day with both the person who made your favorite game and the one responsible for creating your least favorite game, respectively, what would you do and how would you spend it? Considering the alright, so that's part 1. If I couldn't hang out with someone who made my favorite game, I got a lot of favorite games. I can't pick just one. You know, I guess the most obvious one would probably be either Naoto Oshima, the original designer of Sonic the Hedgehog, or Yuji Naka, one of the original programmers of the original trilogy. I would love to just hang out with him one day, you know, maybe get a cup of coffee together, buy him lunch, whatever, that sort of shit. Now, for my least favorite games, respectively, I don't know. Like, there are a lot of games that piss me off. Yeah, okay, Sunshine. I would sit with Miyamoto. Look at him with an utterly disdained face, holding up a photocopy of that godforsaken postcard. And we don't say anything the entire stay. He's just looking at me awkwardly. I'm looking at him with the stern fucking face with the postcard in my hand. And it's just, like, I'm not saying anything, but my face reads, "You did this to me, you dick." You don't return my phone calls. You don't hang out with me anymore. This is on you, asshole. There you go. That's my answer to that one. All right. He also asked, considering the tone and how far it escalated, why do you think Sonic may be in need of a proper reboot? No, because there's nothing much to reboot. If we're being honest here, it's kind of like Star Fox. Honestly, there's continuity, but they don't give a shit about that. So why should they suddenly start giving a shit about it now? You know, it's a thing I did poke fun at, like what the fuck is coherency in this one, but they don't give a shit. So why should I? It's just I gave up with the moon. As soon as I saw the moon back in its full glory by like Shadow the Hedgehog, I was like, yeah, they don't give a shit. All right. The last question from him is: do you feel are there any IPs you feel need to make a comeback? So what? I really would like another Onimusha game. Like, where are my Onimusha fans at here in the comment section? I'll see them after this is done. You obviously can't respond to me now. It's not a live video. But I love Onimusha. I've been loving it since the first game in the early 2000s. And Dawn of Dreams, I think, was like 2006, 2007. It's been over 10 years. You know, I would even take an HD remastering of the first 3 games. So now you could put Dawn of Dreams in there too. Dawn of Dreams is not a bad game. But I would really like a new game in the series. Unfortunately, I know it's pretty niche, especially in this day and age, but I'd buy it. I'd buy 7. You know, like on each console. But you know, I really enjoy it because I love the aesthetic. I love feudal Japan. I just like the whole samurai setting. I think the gameplay was pretty solid. It's pretty much hack and slash Resident Evil, and I think it deserves a little more love. Those are that in terms of the IP. That's what I think immediately. Asked me this question last year, I would have said Metroid, but well, you know how that works out now. We got 2 games, so hey, I'll drink to that. Fire Hedgehog is asking me why I play South Park: The Fractured Butthole. He also puts in eventually. My man knows. Thank you, I appreciate it. Those are the kind of questions that I will just give it eventually too. You know, folks, I don't plan on stopping YouTube for like as long as I live. So, I'm gonna keep doing YouTube for as long as I live. You know, that or I don't know. Something happens to the world beforehand, God forbid. But I don't know. The world is my oyster when it comes to looking at games, experimenting with games, trying new games out. It's all part of the experience for what I do on this channel, on the main channel. It's one of the reasons why I love doing this so much, because you get to broaden your horizons. So I fucking love the shades so much. You know, they also have a bit of a gameplay mechanic too. They actually do dim the screen when you put them on. Because in case like the game settings might be a little too bright and you don't feel like you're too lazy to adjust the brightness settings on your TV, you get a pair of shades. You can dim the screen for you. I put them on because they're shades. So come on, look at that. God, man, that should be a thumbnail. I don't know, maybe I'll make it a thumbnail. I'm not entirely sure. Well, that's about it for today's part in Ricco Harbor. Next up is Gelato Beach. Is it gelato? Gelato? No, it's pronounced gelato. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm gonna answer more of your questions there. And I'll see you guys for more blue coin, 100 coin, shine sprite shenanigans right here on Super Mario Sunshine. Oh, shit. I'm just gonna shut up. Another swig.